Hey, what's up, guys? Got another new video for you. This is DENT Sports here. My name is Bryson.
I'm Bennett.
I'm pissed.
I'm off.
And today we've got the Week 11 college football preview video for you, breaking down all of our exciting teams. Normally we would be breaking down the Alabama game as well, but that one has been postponed because the LSU players, number of them have COVID, so we get to wait a few more weeks for that one. Hopefully they are able to play the game, but because they're not, we're not going to talk about it this week. So let's start on that end of the table with the FSU fan there.
Yeah, let's start with this shit show. Sorry for the language. Anyways, playing at NC State this week. Looking forward to another loss. Woo! Go Noles. After hearing that Blackman was going to transfer, and then I get the nice news that Tamarion Terry is leaving. So, great. I'm just loving the way where this team is headed right now. Nothing but in the crappers. We're going to lose this week. Would basically be a repeat performance of the last couple weeks. I think we're going to come out there, play uninspired football. Just not
Drive.
good. Well, yeah, no drive, no discipline, just the typical stuff that we see every week. So,
Can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, I can't wait. We're going to lose.
You're going to put more energy into getting pissed off at the game than the players are on the field? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Think so.
Okay.
Well, he's probably spot on with, his feelings towards this game. I don't necessarily think they're going to play uninspired. I do, like I've mentioned before, I do like the coach. I think he'll turn it around. It's just going to take some time. And, you got to have athletes in order to turn things around. So they just need some help right now. And But I do believe the coach is actually pretty good. I think he'll be all right. But it's hard right now just because, they don't have a whole lot of talent on the team. And then one of the biggest pieces they had decided he's not going to play anymore this year.
Blackman?
No. Well, that goes without being said.
Talk about a laughing stock.
Yeah, no, talent like that.
I thought we were talking about Blackman.
He's doing him a favor by not showing up. But Terry, pretty good prospect, and he's probably going to end up playing on Sunday somewhere. But anyway, just kind of unfortunate for the team that's already lacking in talent, and then to have a piece like that was actually, putting some
solid,
performances out there. To have him say "I want out" is just, it's unfortunate for the team.
Well, he sees the writing on the wall where this team is headed.
No, he doesn't want to hurt himself for a 2-win team.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
What it amounts to. He doesn't want to jeopardize his NFL career to sit and, lose every game. So,
yeah.
But at least he's not transferring, so that's positive.
Yeah.
He just wants to work out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just wants
the free rate.
He just wants to keep using the facility.
No, well, he still wants he still wants that free education that he's getting.
He's got free time now. He's not showing up to class anyway. So.
Yeah, so he can use the weight room and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
get himself ready to go.
He'll be yoked for the combine.
Yeah, for sure.
What I would say about this game is, I think really you should be, or I would be, I guess, basing my thoughts about what this game is going to look like based on last week's performance, not so much whether or not Terry is playing or not. I mean, I can understand why that would be a frustrating thing, but it's not like it's new. I mean, he hasn't played the majority of the games this season, and they've still won games. So, I mean, it's not as if this team is doesn't know what it's like to have the guy not on the roster, and they've still played decent football in a number of games when he was out. They've gotten blown out a couple times too, but I mean, I'm just saying it's not as if the team isn't used to not having him on the field. He hasn't played the majority of the games this season. So I think even though it is frustrating that he won't be out there, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily the end of the world. A little frustrating the way that he went about it and how it ended up going. I mean, in some ways, I don't know if I can necessarily blame him, like Dad said. I mean, who wants to be out there getting hurt for a team that wins 2 games? But at the same time, you know, I kind of feel like you got to have the dignity, I guess, to at least finish out the season. I mean, you're the one that chose to go there. You knew what you were getting yourself into. So, I mean,
that's the new norm.
Yeah.
That's the new norm.
Yeah, there's just too much money out there to be lost if he goes out.
Yeah.
Hurts
So
himself again.
it's unfortunate that that's the way it is now, like they said, but I mean, it is what it is. But like I said, I don't think, you know, how you do this week is dependent on based on the fact that he was not there, because this isn't necessarily a new thing. I think they'll be just fine. I actually think they have a chance to win this week, and I think NC State is a solid program or solid team, and you know, they definitely will have their hands full. But I don't think it's out of the question that Florida State couldn't play a game with them. I think they could play with them, and I don't necessarily see it being a blowout or anything like that. I think they'll be okay. And isn't what's his nut starting again too, Travis, or no? Or is it Purdy?
I think it's Purdy.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that it might be a rough week then, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, it won't be Purdy. It's pretty much NC State, I think, with this one again. Common component. Opponents, you know, they beat Pitt in Pittsburgh. So I think with this one here, I think you just look at the matchups. I think it's NC State, and I think FSU's quit.
Yeah.
I think they're done. Lock it up.
Yeah, you know, the main reason I think we're going to get blown out is just judging off the last 2 performances. I mean, it would be understandable if we were against a ranked opponent, but when we're playing teams like Louisville and Pittsburgh and get not even showing up for the game, I mean, that's just that's ridiculous to me, and it just wants to make me believe that, you know, we'll get blown out by teams that we're not supposed to. So.
Yeah. Well, I can understand the frustration for sure. And it's definitely warranted.
It's not easy. It's a non-easy pill to swallow. I know all about it.
I was going to say, speaking of hard pills to swallow, let's get into Michigan.
I know all about it.
I thought you were going to say, it's hard to swallow later, you know. But
we could really, with the exception of my team, we could really play roulette. Oh, you're talking again. All right.
It's my team.
But, yeah, it's my turn to load the gun.
It's Bennett.
So, I mean, with that being said, I mean, you know, I definitely can feel the pain he's feeling with Florida State. Likewise for the University of Michigan right now. They're just not playing. They're just not playing very good football, and it's not common for a Harbaugh team to play this bad. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to point it to, because the recruiting's actually been pretty good. They've had some of the better recruiting classes over the last couple of years. You know, definitely in the top 15 in recruiting.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, there's really no excuse for the drop-off that we're seeing. The Michigan State game comes to mind. I mean, it's an interstate rival game, I know that, but, I mean, that went totally wrong for how it should have went. And, you know, Indiana, maybe they're just better than I thought they were, but, you know, to show up and, you know, pretty much just get blown off the field was kind of unbelievable to me. Indiana's definitely not, you know, got nearly as good athletes on the average as Michigan does. And so just very frustrating. This week against Wisconsin, I'm not looking for good things there either. Michigan has a hard time, it seems like, stopping the run here, which Wisconsin's pretty much going to load up and force it down your throat all day long. And so it could be a long afternoon for the Wolverines again. The offense seems to be fairly stagnant as well, to the point where, they got to start questioning if this guy they got at the quarterback position is the right guy. Maybe it's time to see the McNamara show and see what he looks like. But I don't know. It's baffling to me. It's very disheartening to see that. I love Michigan football to a fault. And it's just tough to watch right now. And, I'm a huge Harbaugh fan. I know everybody wants to criticize him, and people are saying get rid of the bum and this and that. And, well, be careful what you wish for, because we'll be back to 5 wins, in no time flat if he leaves. So, we'll just see what happens, I guess. I'm hoping that they can pull this one out, but I don't see it happening this week.
Yeah, I would kind of echo. First off, you start with a loss to Michigan State, and then you get pretty much outplayed by Indiana in the following game. And you're only going to be playing a tougher opponent probably in Wisconsin now. That pretty much does things well that you're terrible at, which is stopping the run, So I would expect Wisconsin to win this game. I feel bad for Dad, but because he's kind of in the same boat I am in terms of team, where the team is at right now. So, sad to say that I'm going to have to pick Wisconsin.
This one here is one of my favorite games because it's got 2 Varmin, opposing each other. I think that's pretty spectacular. You got Badgers and you got, Wolverines, Anyway, Augusta, what can I say? It's golf week, right? No, this one here looks like it's going to be a doozy. You got, I don't know. Wisconsin's only played 1 game. They've had 2 weeks off, so they haven't hit anybody. Michigan's on their 4th game. And also, Wisconsin runs the ball, which is not to seem to be Michigan's Achilles heel. Michigan's Achilles heel seems to be the secondary and throwing long passes on it. So if Wisconsin can't connect on those, then I think that's going to be their success rate, right? Mm-hmm. If they do, then they're going to have a big day. If they can't, it's not going to work for them. So I think with this one, I'm going to take Michigan. So.
Boom. Okay. I think Wisconsin, they're not necessarily known for great quarterback play, and Michigan's gotten beat a number of times by deep balls and stuff, like he just said. And, will the quarterback of Wisconsin be able to hit those deep balls? If they do, prepare for more of the same. If they don't, it could be a long day for him. I definitely do believe. Like Dad said with the Michigan State game, that was just inexcusable for a lot of different reasons. You look at what Michigan State's got going on right now. You look at how they played week 1, then they come out and beat you, and then look what they did last week, getting stomped by Iowa 45-7, or some ridiculous number like that. And you think, man, we had, projected number 13 or something like that coming into the season. How on earth is this happening? And it shouldn't be happening. So my question is the team still wanting to go out there and play, or is the morale just completely shot over there? Because it's been back-to-back weeks. Michigan State's played like crap, and then Indiana hasn't beaten them since '89 until this season. So I can't imagine the morale around the organization and the team is very good right now. They got to be saying, man, what the hell is going on around here? And we just lost 2 straight weeks to teams that we shouldn't have been on the same field with, more so Michigan State than Indiana, but still. And so for that reason, I've got to go with Wisconsin here. I think Wisconsin's going to win this game, and it could be won pretty handily. And I also think, what Dad said about the quarterback, I mean, I don't necessarily completely blame him, but on the same token, it's the Lamar Jackson thing, really. I mean, he's a really good runner, but a not very accurate passer. If they stop the running game and what he's doing with his legs and make him throw it, or he gets behind and in a position where he has to throw it a lot, he gets exposed. And unfortunately, that's happened a couple of times now. Would the backup give you a better choice? Maybe, because if he's a more accurate passer, might give you a better chance. But he also may not be able to bring the dual threat abilities that the guy that's Milton, right? Isn't that his name? Milton, I think. That Milton has. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. On the whole, I think I'd go with the better passer, just because if they're stopping the run, he can at least keep you in the game, maybe. So I think maybe they should look at bringing in the other guy. But on the same token, maybe they think that Milton's only going to get better if they keep putting him out there. But they just can't get too far behind.
Well, this season's a wash anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, they've already lost more games than they should have.
Yep.
I mean, the thing that's disturbing about it to me is that this year you're only playing divisional opponents. So I figured, probably going to lose Ohio State. We do every year. I thought maybe lose one other one to maybe a Wisconsin or
Penn State
or somebody like that, just, because of circumstances or whatever. I definitely didn't see, losing to Michigan State and then getting steamrolled by Indiana. I mean, it's not a good situation right now. And it's very tough. And I mean, the Michigan faculty and fans and all this, I mean, there's a lot of pressure being put on right now. It's another situation where a Michigan team is just not, not doing what they're supposed to. Wow, can you imagine that? I mean, look around. I mean, the Lions, the Tigers, the Pistons. I mean, where do you want to look at? I mean, the Red Wings are the worst team in hockey. I mean, we're looking good. So, I mean, it's just more stress, in this town with poor play by the sports teams. And, Harbaugh, who knows what's going on with him, if he's thinking about going back to the pros or whatever.
probably.
And Lord knows I wouldn't blame him if he decided to go, because, I mean, he's done, in my opinion, he's done a very nice job in Michigan. And he's resurrected the program. He's got them back on the map, with, being ranked every season and, getting 10 wins and whatever. I mean, he hasn't beaten Ohio State, but who else was beating Ohio State? Really nobody. So, and it all comes down to we have the horses to do it. I don't know. But it's just been a long road, and who knows, there could be some changes in the future.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's move on to the next game. How about we talk about the Buffs?
Yeah.
Let's get into the Buffs.
Going over here to the Bay Area to play a little Stanford.
Yeah.
So, again, you're going to get with Shaw, so it's going to be running the ball, solid offense and defense. So, they just came off a drubbing from Oregon up in Eugene. So, we'll see what happens. Again, surprise performance last week for the Buffs. First game with the new coach and new thought process. So hopefully they'll be able to start off quick and get Stanford down early and get them out of their mode of running, which will make the game a lot easier. But if it goes down neck and neck or behind, they're just going to get ran on until they stop it. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, I don't know what to expect because, again, first road game. like I said, they looked pretty decent against UCLA, except towards that middle and end part, which they made it interesting. So we'll see. We'll see on that. But I'm going to go ahead and go with the Buffs on it. So we'll see who goes 2 in a row.
Yeah, I'm going with the Buffs also. I think maybe they have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder this year, just the way that everything played out, and everybody just, to be fair, including myself, just thinking, hey, they're just going to be who knows what this year because of everything that happened during the offseason. And I think, they're ready to come out and say, hey, we still got players, and obviously the seniors and people that stayed are wanting to go out and prove everybody wrong and say, hey, we still got a good team down here. And I'm inclined to agree with them based on what I saw last week. And so, again, Oregon is generally the best team in the Pac-12, or at least in the last handful of years. It's pretty much Oregon and then a couple other teams and everybody else. But I think Oregon is the best team, especially this year. I think they'll probably be the best team, and it might not be too close. And so I don't necessarily know if how Stanford played against them is vindicative of how good their team is. I think they'll play a lot better than they did last week. But I do still think I'm going with the Buffs. 2-0.
Yeah. I'm going with the Buffs. I think they're going 2-0. Solid performance last week. And like he said, I think they got a chip on their shoulder. So.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good game. Or at least I hope it will be. Stanford is probably going to come in with a little something to prove this week. I would think that a lot of the mistakes that you saw in that game last week are going to be corrected based upon history of this coach and what he does. Mm-hmm. I don't think Stanford is going to come in and, they're not going to take this game lightly. Let's put it that way. Now, I give a lot of credit to Colorado, last week knocking off, UCLA. The new coach or whatever did a wonderful job. Now, I think he was on the staff previously, right? Didn't they just promote from within?
No, he actually came from out somewhere else. I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what's his name was going to be Cheverini. He was the guy that was slated once. He was the interim until Norvell came.
Well, so this guy, whoever took over this operation, did some nice things in a pretty quick fashion. The offense looked to me as good as I've seen it look. Really, being able to move the ball up and down the field. They didn't skip a beat from the other coach being there. So, in my opinion, I don't know that other coach leaving was really a bad thing. It is in recruiting. I would agree with that. But, that other coach really hasn't proven anything either. So, and from what I've seen in Michigan State so far, he doesn't look all that great. Outside of being able to
he took care of it.
outside of being able to handle Michigan.
Hey, but that's all the boosters care about. They can lose every other game, but if they beat Michigan and another Notre Dame, you're good.
But, and I'm not taking anything away from that coach either. It takes time to build the program, so that's what's going to happen there. But just saying, I give a lot of credit to that new coaching staff.
Absolutely.
That guys definitely came in and made quick work out of, and especially with the COVID situation and not being able to practice and all this kind of stuff that was going on when he got there. It's amazing that they were able to come out and look as good as they did. Mm-hmm. However, this week I think reality might set in, and I think the Cardinals will handle them this week. Not by a lot, but I think they win the game.
Okay. Yeah.
This will be
okay. Nevada.
The big game.
Yeah. Nevada. Nevada at the Lobos. So we have a
This is the one we lose, right?
Yeah, I was going to say this is one they lay down, put a goose out there, and
Yeah, after playing so well for the first several
3
weeks,
weeks,
now we come
Get
out
you
and lose.
excited, like, hey, man, I'm really excited
Lose by
to see
20.
this team to roll up as a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll get rolled.
Yeah.
Lose by 20 to New Mexico. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
So one thing that's kind of nice about this game is because, playing on Thursday kind of sucks because you got a short week from the week before. But it's kind of nice on the other end of it because we were able to win. And now on the other end, we get a couple extra days to prepare and all that other fun stuff. Or a couple more days to drink out on the town and, come into the game wasted and DUIs and everything else.
Catch COVID.
Yeah, that too. So, it should be an interesting game this week. Yeah. What do you think, Bennett?
I got Nevada this week. Again, they're going to be 3-0. They came out and looked solid all year. And I don't see that changing against the Lobos. So
Lobos.
Yeah. I would agree. I think Nevada wins this game again. They look pretty solid right now, and the one thing that they got going is defense is playing well, which is not usually something that happens here. But so far, through the first couple of games anyway, they've played pretty solid. The quarterback seems to be pretty good, playing pretty solid as well. And Nevada's always been able to score points. That's never been so much the issue. It's just being able to hold people from scoring. So I think that trend kind of continues. I think they'll score enough points to be able to win the game. Mm-hmm. I don't know, by how many, but I think they'll score enough to win.
Yeah, I think again, this has been the best coaching that they've done up there so far in the last several years. So offense and defense are playing well on both sides of the ball, which is pretty scary because never, like you said, not used to seeing this. But again, usually they let us down. This will probably be the game where the defense doesn't show up, doesn't even get off the bus. But New Mexico's horrible. So if Nevada just pays attention, they should be able to grab this victory and then be able to keep New Mexico blue.
Yep. No, I completely agree. I see Nevada winning this one. Let's just say one thing: if they don't win, tune in to the review. But hear me out when I say this. We got New Mexico, San Diego State at home, Hawaii, Fresno, and San Jose State. I realize it's at Hawaii, but I could easily see us walking out of this season with one loss to San Diego State, and depending on who they have to play and all that other stuff, I don't even know if they're on our end of the conference or what the deal is with that. But we could easily win our thing of the conference because I know they had to play Boise and lost to them. So, I know they'd hold the head-to-head over us, but I'm just saying, I could easily, if we take care of business when we're supposed to, which hasn't always been our specialty, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say we walk out of this season with one loss to San Diego State this season, and that's it.
If they play like they have been playing, I don't think San Diego State is not necessarily a loss.
Yeah, because LV was struggling with them.
They're gonna. I think Nevada's gonna give San Diego State all they want.
Yeah, well, no, I think so too.
I don't think it's gonna be
up
like
here where it's nice and cold.
Now, when it comes to the conference championship game against Boise, there might be some issues there. But even Boise looks pretty beatable.
Yeah.
So this could be the best opportunity for Nevada to actually win this conference.
I feel sorry for Colorado State because they're getting the brunt of the ass whooping that they got last week from BYU. They're taking it out on.
Yeah, they are
on the Rams.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
so, we'll see. But Boise looks like they're beatable.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. San Diego State doesn't necessarily look like world beaters. I think we could easily win that game as well if we play to our potential. And honestly, if we would have beat them, then I think, any other game, I realize that Hawaii is a difficult place to play and we have struggles there, but is that, even with that being said, is that a game we should lose? No, I don't think it is. So, If we beat San Diego State, I'm saying we don't lose until we play Boise, and we've beaten them when we shouldn't have in the past. So once, but still, we have done it.
No, that can happen.
So,
I
I'm going to say Nevada wins this game and has the best season that they've had in a long time this year.
This is the most promising start they've had in a long time as far as, they beat some quality, played some quality football up to this point. And, usually, outside of it being for the Cannon with UNLV, UNLV is usually not a victory you get excited about because they're not very good usually. But, with that being said,
with
they
this
still had
coach,
to go.
so.
It's a rivalry game. So.
I'm just saying, they've never, at least since I've been watching, they've looked better this year than they have in a long time. And the offense, like Don said, the offensive and defensive side of the ball is playing really well.
Yeah.
And, the big thing that I was watching the one game is that they were able to get a lot of pass rush without blitzing. Mm-hmm. And when you're able to do that, that changes everything. Mm-hmm. So, if they're able to do that against, New
Mexico,
which should not be much of an issue, I wouldn't think.
Yeah.
We should be able to win handily, I think.
Yeah. If we were able to beat Utah State 34-9, I see no reason why we couldn't do the same thing to this team. I think
agree.
Utah State is in general probably a better program. So, but we'll see what ends up happening. Hopefully, like I said, we all want them to succeed, and hopefully they have the best season we've seen from them basically since probably Kaepernick and before that, I don't know really. But anyways, so with that being said, guys, this is just our thoughts on the Week 11 college football stuff for each of our teams. If you guys like the content, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. You guys know the deal at this point. With that being said, my name is Bryson.
I'm Bennett.
Steve.
Done. And we'll see you guys in the next video.